So in this video, I'll show you how to run Mobile Suit Gundam Yunikōn, or better known as Kidō Senshi Gandamu Yunikōn on your PC using RPCS3. This guide will cover how to set up the emulator itself, downloading and installing the game, and setting up all 49 DLCs. I will also show you some troubleshooting steps, as well as how to set up your controller. All the related links for the tools, emulator, and the game files are in the description, so let's get started. So first, let's head over to the rpcs3.net and go to the download section. From here, I will choose to download for Windows. You can also pick Linux or Mac OS, but this guide will purely focus on Windows. Here you have two options, x64 and ARM64. So if you want to check your system type, go to the settings by hitting Windows +I, go to the system and scroll down to the about section. And here you can check your system type. Download the zip file. This is what you will get after this finishes downloading. So just right click, select extract to, and you will get this folder. Now I'll go to the quick start and scroll down till I find the software setup section. Now from here you would need to go to the PS3 system software and download the update. Link is down below. Decline, scroll down to the how to update the PS3 system software and click download PS3 update. If nothing happens when you click, which is totally normal, simply right click and hit save link as. Choose wherever you want to download. I'll make a separate folder for this and hit save. Make sure to select keep in case your browser blocks it. Thank you, Chrome. And now we just wait for it to download. So it downloaded, and I've made a separate folder for this. So now I'll launch RPCS3. This warning pops up. If it does, just hit more info and hit run anyway. And now here I'll check this option to create a desktop shortcut and just hit continue. Make sure to select the quick start checkbox as well, and then go to the file, install firmware, and then select the PS3 update that we just downloaded. Hit open and it should start installing it. So that's done. We would need the ISO file for the game. I downloaded mine from the Internet Archive. You don't need to download from here as I've already decrypted it again. Link in the description. I have the decrypted ISO, so I will be using that in this section. Later on, I will also show you how to decrypt the ISO file for yourself. Now I'll just right click and go to Winrar and hit extract here. Make sure not to extract to, I'll explain this later. Also, if for some reason you don't have Winrar, you can just Google it and download it. I've linked it down below as well, because why not? So now I've extracted the ISO. Simply open up RPCS3 again and go to File, Add Games, and find the extracted files. Now before you do this, just to ensure, go open up the PS3 game folder and the usr.dir folder, and make sure that this file eboot.bin is not 0 kilobytes. Mine here says it's 22,000-ish kilobytes, because if it is 0 kilobytes, it means that the ISO didn't get extracted properly. So you might need to extract it again, or use some other utility to extract, like 7z or just your file manager, I guess. Also make sure that all the extracted files are in the same folder that we will select when we add the game to our emulator. Make sure that there are no intermediate subfolders between the folder that we will be selecting and the extracted files. The PS3 update, PS3 disk, and the PS3 game folder. This is why we choose extract here and not extract to option whilst extracting. So now finally open RPCS3 and go to File, Add Games, and choose a folder that directly contains the 3 files or folders I've just mentioned. Make sure to check precompile caches. If you get this screen, congratulations, you're 80% of the way there. So now simply wait for it to cache all the modules. It will take a long time initially, but after that it will compile quickly from then on. Once that's finished, open up or tab back into RPCS3 and simply double click on this game. And this time around it loads faster. And there we go, the game loads. Now if you have a controller plugged in your PC like me, we can't use it because the emulator has not picked it up. You can here use the arrow keys to toggle between these two options, but that's about it. So for this, close the game, Alt F4, and then go to the path section on the top left corner under handlers, switch from keyboard to X input. As you can see, my joysticks are getting picked up. Just hit save and launch the game again by double clicking, or you can just right click and select boot. And now our controller works. Hit OK or cancel here, it really doesn't matter. You will get this screen for telling you that the game uses autosaves. And here we are. Skip the starting cutscene if you want. I'll select normal and flight mode and then make a new save file. And here we are in the tutorial where Kidō Senshi won't shut up. Also, this game plays kind of like any other Armored Core title, so yeah, the core mechanics are decent. Also, the entire game is in Japanese, that's up like 40% of the menus. The story in this game is entirely in Japanese as well, but it's basically just a screenshot from the anime. So it's nothing new except it just tells the narrative from different characters' perspective, which I think it's kinda cool. So that's about it for the base game installation with the decrypted ISO. In the next section, I'll go over on how to decrypt the ISO yourself in case the decrypted one doesn't work for you or something. Now here's how to decrypt the ISO file yourself. I'll be going over the steps that are listed here on the Internet Archive by Dr. Moguri. Basically, you want to go to this website first and download the PS3 decryptor. Links in the description again. I have downloaded mine, so make sure to extract it after downloading it. From this folder, copy the PS3 decryptor.exe and just paste it where you have downloaded the ISO file from the Internet Archive. Next, go to the search bar of your file explorer and after clicking it, hit backspace and type cmd to open up the command prompt. Next, you would need to paste in this command and hit enter. You can copy it from the description again, and now just wait a few seconds. So you can see now that it has done decrypting it. So if we go back to you can see we have output.iso file, which is what you will be using to install the game. Now I'll go ahead and open it, and I'll go to the PS3 game folder and then the usr-dir folder again. Make sure this eboot.bin file is not 0 kilobytes. Next, we can simply right click the output.iso and select extract here and use this entire folder to add the game. Also, another thing, after decrypting the ISO, Windows might mount it as a disk, which won't allow you to delete this ISO file after extracting. So for that, simply find the ISO as a disk and right click and hit eject. And now you will be able to delete the ISO to save up space if you want to. Right, so this is the easiest part of this guide. Simply download the zip file from the link in the charts below and just simply right click it and extract it. You will get this .pkg file. After that, simply run RPCS3. I'll go ahead and right click and run it as administrator just for good measures. Then simply go to file and install packages, then go ahead and select the .pkg file that you just extracted. Make sure to check this box to pre-compile caches and hit install. I've already done this, so I'll just run the game directly and wait for it to load in. If I go to the DLC store and then the DLC list, you can see we have all 49 DLCs. So I think I'll load one DLC mission first, just gonna 1v1 the new Gundam because why not? And start.
落ち着けよバナージ。訓練は受けてるはずなんだ、あの人から。
あの少年ニュータイプなのか。邪念が感じられない相手だが、それでも来るというのなら新型のガンダム、見たことのない方だがガンダムなら侮れない。
一方的に人の命を奪うのは良くない。そんな権利は誰にもないんだ。
力を見せなければわからないのだ。
これならいけるか。
この戦いに意味があるか、考えたことがあるのか。
今は戦うしかないんだ。勝てるのか。
されている。
俺の力。このままじゃまずいぞ。
素人が戦場に来るもんじゃない。そんなんじゃ落とされて当たり前だ。終わりにする。
Since I won that 1v1 against New Gundam effortlessly, I'll just go ahead and take on the Sazabi head on. I might just pick Yunikōn as that's the only one I know how to pilot for now.
今までの戦いを思い出せばやれる。
さて、敵の力を見せてもらうとしよう。
Since we're fighting the orange comet, I'll just go ahead and activate NTD first.
Gundam! 俺に力を貸せ。
These stupid funnels.
ない機体だ。
俺にかなう相手じゃない。
なぜ君は戦う。つまらん死に方をしたくなければ動きが素直すぎる。それでは私は倒せん。
黙れ。
プレッシャー侮れん。それでこそ私の前に立つ価値があるというもの。
そんな風に敵意をまき散らすからみんなおかしくなる。当たれ。たまぎれた。
When in doubt, spam Vulkan.
見える。
私をされている。ここまでと侮りすぎた。
And easy again. Yeah, so that was something. I didn't expect him to lose, honestly. Right, so first one is simple enough. Go to this PC and create the game folder in C drive. I've already have one, so let me just make one again. And you want to just take the output.iso that you either decrypted yourself or downloaded the one I linked in the dungeons below. Simply copy it and paste it into this new folder. Or you could just copy these 3 extracted files in that folder. Really, it's the same thing anyway. And again, make sure that this reboot file is not 0 kilobytes. You can hit Alt Enter to view the properties. Another thing you can try if you're facing issues in the emulator itself is to simply right click it and run as administrator, always. Also, if you want to remove the corrupted or error-filled game file, you can just right click on the game, go to manage game and select remove disk game. Just hit yes. I won't be doing that currently though. Also make sure to delete the cache folder where your .exe file is located for your emulator. And once you've done that, you can go back to the emulator and go to file, add games, and select the folder that you have newly created. Another thing you can try is go to file and boot self and select boot self/elf and select PS3 game folder and usr-dir folder. This will boot the game directly from where you tell it to. So the last thing you can try is to copy these 3 game files and go into your RPCS3 folder and find the folder named dev_sdd0, and here you will see a disk folder. If you don't see it, just simply create one. Make sure nothing is in all caps and simply paste in the game files here. And when you open the emulator or restart it, I'll just go ahead and restart my emulator again as administrator, and you should see that the game pops up like so. Simply right click and select boot. To update the game, tab into RPCS3 and download this file and simply drop it in. That's it. The only reason we're doing this is because the game crashes on the final mission of scenario 4 in the custom cast mode, but this update fixes this issue. If it still crashes for you though, I'll share my RPCS3 settings down below. So that about concludes this video. All the gameplay that you're seeing in the background is running on default settings on a 1650, and it runs just fine at 60 FPS. I honestly doubt that this game can even handle anything above that without going into a coma. You can try tinkering with the settings if it runs bad, or just look it up on YouTube. I think there's a video on that too for this game specifically. And yes, this entire video was a voice reveal.